day job, running fast from the way it was. Jump quick to a paycheck, running back to the strip club. I'm never going back, never going back.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so we're gonna take it back. We're not doing a live. We're gonna go ahead and do a video, give some lives a break. All right. So, Real Housewives of Potomac ended on a great note. Now, I'm gonna talk about a little bit of the reunion review, and I'm talking about this because, you know, we just had Potomac in. Married to Medicine is in the middle of their season, and Sunday we're getting ready to go into Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, it's very funny how a lot of this is starting to tie into the Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is in first franchise, show for Bravo. Okay, first all black cast, specified in Atlanta, and then it grew to the Real Housewives of Potomac, to Married to Medicine in Atlanta. Right. So let's get ready to how all this tied together. Now, they took a photo. This is from the reunion. This is a recap on the last episode of Reunion. I'm going to give you guys a little detail of what happened and why it is tied to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, okay? Now, Mia is not pictured in this group photo because she got upset because of her man. Well, her ex-man, Ink, broke up, and Giselle called her out, and the ladies agreed about how basically she used, her son's DNA and everything for TV. And Giselle was saying that's not good as a mother. That's not a mother thing to do. You're supposed to protect your children because what we do, it is very, very, very easy for people to, come down on children. And then Wendy was saying that she was being very humble. She wasn't opening up as she usually does. And Mia just wasn't opening up. Like, if you watch part 1 through 3 of the reunion, she was barely opening up. Now, if Karen was there, she probably would have scarred her. We all know why Karen isn't there during the reunion, because she was getting ready to be sentenced. And I guess she decided to do rehab. And we're going to get into Karen in a little bit. Also, Mia got upset. Giselle was telling her that she doesn't feel like she was protecting her children because of the fact Giselle was still mad about what she said about her kids, but she felt like she wasn't protecting her children because she used that storyline. Now, once Mia left and they took a break, honey, when did husband get a call from TJ? Saying he wasn't invited, he not there, he's never coming to DC, and he want his money. Now, if y'all been watching Real Housewives of Potomac, y'all done seen the chemistry with TJ and with Stacey. And it was very weird. A lot of people was like, this is very weird. That man don't like you. That man, he like to do other things, or you're just not the girlfriend, or he's not interested in you. Are you paying him to be on the show? Are you pulling a Kenya Moore to Walt, in my Nene voice, to, pay him to be on the show, right? And she was like, no. So as they come back in after that break, Andy asked her about TJ and why he wasn't there. And Wendy chimed in and said, well, listen, Eddie got a call and said, which is Wendy's husband, it said, TJ said that you paid him to be your boyfriend. And all the ladies say, oh! And Andy said, what? So Andy said, hold on, let me get Eddie and we can have a conversation. Stacey said that's not true. That's not how it happened. They are no longer together, and they were friends, and it messed up the friendship. So Eddie came out there, child. Now, I knew Bravo was up to something when they were recording Eddie's phone call, so they played it back. The producers gave her the video and gave it and let Andy see it. So Stacey sat there, was listening to it, and was like, what? And it showed that Andy said, Eddie said, yeah, TJ said that he was trying to downplay it. Eddie, let's be honest, Eddie is a sweet guy, unless you push him. And I see why Wendy married him. He was trying to downplay it and not embarrass Stacey. But TJ already embarrassed her, Eddie. It ain't, bro, I see where you was coming from, my brother, but that wasn't happening. So, it showed when he was on a FaceTime call with TJ and why he wasn't coming. Because he was there with Kay's fiance. Well, probably it's her fiance now. And they was just talking about, we want to see you. He's great friends with them or whatnot. So then they go into Karen and they, they sat there and Whitney would say, my husband's not a liar, don't call him a liar. Then I think Andy went ahead and switched it to Karen. They talked about Karen and what was going on. And basically, they sat there and they was calling Karen video BS. And Kay was like, she was hurt because if she was going through those things with, pills, popping perk. We're going to say popping perk. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't, but that's what they call it. Popping, She said that her and her man would have helped her through that transition, so it hurt her. And Giselle was like, y'all need to erase that. Don't show that no more. It felt like, a lot of people feel like it was bull and that Karen's husband was basically, calling her, not holding her accountable. And I believe he held her accountable when the cameras was off, which he did great. And I believe he wasn't, first of all, we don't need to see their marital problems and her being held accountable on the show where we don't know how he holds her accountable and how they argue. We don't need to see that, because what it'll do to the viewers is have a bad light of her husband, okay? Now, let's move on to Madison, honey. Y'all gonna see how all this tied in the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We talked about water being paid. Now we're gonna talk about Miss Phaedra, honey, who was going back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, Madison is in Atlanta base. Now, we've seen how Sweet Tea got talked to by her husband, how the group had conversations about everything. So, basically, Toya, decides to celebrate her 16th wedding anniversary to her husband, Eugene the doctor, okay? And as you guys know, Phaedra is on there. We all know once Phaedra got the call that Kenny was gone, we feel like Phaedra would tell Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, Toya was like, listen, we've been together for 16 years. If you live in that Atlanta, they throw a party for everything. Toya doing the right Atlanta thing, honey. They've been together for 16 years. She want to celebrate with a girl. She want to have a dance class. And then she wants to do a ballroom. She say every party has to be a theme, baby. That's Toya. She don't have the birthday theme. She had this theme. Every party has to be a theme, honey. That's just how Toya roll. We see how Toya walk. So she's cooking dinner. It looked like dinner or breakfast with breakfast for dinner. She looked good in that dress. I like that dress on her. And, her and Eugene was talking. And then, Sweet Tea and Dr. Mimi didn't show up to the practice, and they were talking about Dr. Greg and Sweet Tea in a situation with King and how he wanted to file a report. Now, side note, Sweet Tea and Dr. G said they did not file a report, but they had to file something to the production to try to keep King from filming. Okay, we talked about that. So they're sitting here talking to her, trying to see what's going on, what happened, because this is what they're hearing. Sweet Tea said, oh, nothing. I'm not sharing nothing. Now, I said this before. Something had to happen behind the closed doors, because Toya was like, is everything okay with you guys? How's everything going? Oh, that's our business and for us to handle. And Toya, like, when it comes to Dr. G, you let him be your mouthpiece until you ready to fight heavily anybody else. But, which I agree, but you don't speak up for yourself, or you don't speak up for yourself at home. So Toya felt like she was trying to make her pick a side, and she left it there. She gave her invitation, is what it is. So Dr. G is with the guys, and they're having a conversation. This is what he does, this darn song talking about he want to free his damn self from all the BS. He did a video in the pool hall at their house. So they were sitting out talking. The guys were watching it, and they were laughing, and Eugene and Dr. Contessa's wife was like, please don't ever do that again. Like, please don't ever do that again. He said, Toya, you ever leave me like that, I'm going to be mad. So then it skipped to the scene to where everybody meet up at Quad house. Quad had a shindig. She told Dr. Heavily she wanted to invite everybody to get the old girls together instead of Sweet Tea and Phaedra. She said she know Phaedra not going to come. She knows Sweet Tea, Miss Lunsford, is going to be with Mr. Lunsford and obey him and not to come. She was right, because if her husband say he don't want her to go, she's not going to go, y'all. Y'all can't be mad at Quad. So Dr. Contessa say, Quad, we're going to say we're not going to talk about the past. And they all came up and said they want to talk about the past because it's hurting the group. They're going to leave it there, and nothing never gets solved. So then she talked about King or whatever, Mr. Dr. King. And she King Takute King, because he was handling him. Not being funny, but he was handling like an African king, okay? You got some African bloodline, you let us know, Court. So she better keep this man. So they were saying how he was respectful, he apologized, and they didn't get that from Dr. G. Dr. G was screaming, yelling, upset. They didn't get that, and it felt like Sweet Tea and Dr. G, it felt like they owed him something. So, Toya say, her and Quad, we have seen plenty of seasons where they made up, have fights, fight it out, don't get along, why are you not opening up, why are you not doing this? And Toya decided to invite her to her 16th wedding anniversary. She asked was the lunch was going to be there. She didn't want nothing going on. She said no. So then Dr. Jackie, I guess, didn't go to, she left the shindig and went to Phaedra house. They had a conversation. Phaedra let her in. Now, Phaedra and Dr. Jackie was having a conversation. Dr. Jackie felt like she wasn't holding herself accountable for some of the things she knew. I mean, y'all know this is Phaedra, honey. I love Phaedra down. Shout out to Miss Phaedra. We all know Phaedra feel like she's wrong. You got to say something first. Then she apologize because she feel like she gave you the vibe because of how your vibe was. She did a vibe check. The vibe check didn't clear. Her Scorpio senses stinged, and then it just went left, and everybody was like, why you at the way you at? But then she felt like y'all would be a fake. So she felt like all of them are a bunch of mean girls. They're mean girls. They're mean. And I was surprised to hear her say that because she was mean to my girl, Demetria. But that was seasons ago. We ain't going to talk about the past. That was one of the best seasons, too. So, that's what Phaedra was reading. I don't know why Phaedra wasn't reading this, but Phaedra was reading. So, Phaedra was like, she didn't want to be around none of them and left it as that and left the group alone. Now, this is where I feel like Real Housewives of Potomac has promoted Married to Medicine, and now Married to Medicine it was a trickle to promote Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm going to tell you why. Giselle and Robin have a podcast, okay? They did the podcast. It was talking about Married to Medicine and how it was discussing and how all the women are not married to doctors and most of them need to go except for the doctors. Now, Giselle, you're not married yet, but we give you that. It took Juan and that lady to get married a long time. No shade, Robin, I'm just saying. So, y'all guys know, okay? So, Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey. I'm so excited about time. Thank you, Jesus, because last season was a flop. Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey, come back March 9th. And I'm so excited. We're going to see the girls. We're going to see the real tea with this Kia situation. And my girl Shamia and Portia. I love them down, honey. I'm so excited. I loved you too. Her crazy stuff. So, I felt like all of this was a trickle down because Phaedra left Married to Medicine to go to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And Dr. Simone felt like she was saying, calling them. We're going to talk about Watch What Happened Live. I'm going to play the clip. She called Portia a mean girl. Yes, she called Portia a mean girl. And I digress and disagree. Portia has her ways. But we all gonna see why she called her a mean girl. Here's the clip, honey.
Think of Jackie and Phaedra's conversation.
I think Phaedra gave us an unnecessary and unfit hard time. I think she was ready to be back with Portia, ready to be back as frickin' frack. And so just say that, but don't leave out calling us mean girls when you're headed to the #1 mean girl.
Who, are you calling Portia the #1 mean girl?
She's mean. She's tried to fight on social media. She snatched Kenya down. You were there.
Okay. What did you...
Andy say, now, why am I in it? She called her that because her alliance is with Kenya. Now, y'all finna be surprised about who Walter uncle is. Who Walter uncle is. I'm gonna play this clip back at more commentary.
We had a conversation at the beach, the private beach. We just talked about how we would do. Could we elope? Could we go to the courthouse? Should we have a big wedding or what? I said, we could probably elope. I mean, this would be a nice place to elope. I mean, it's a beautiful island.
You could be a little bit misleading because really you're making her feel like, wow.
Right.
Because that's what I want.
Unless y'all plan on moving and grilling.
Yeah.
Y'all going back to
Walter, that's the one that compared TJ to Stacy, who was on Watch What Happened Live last night. Dr. Simone came out and said Walter is her husband Cecil's nephew. Up and they met Kenya. That's where the alliance lies. And I feel like she gave Phaedra a chance. Phaedra didn't give her one. She probably talked to Kenya and Kenya told her to give her a chance. Okay, here is my thoughts. Like I told you, I feel like this is a cycle to get ready for the Love and Hip Hop, Lord Jesus. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Real Housewives of Potomac ratings were great, but it wasn't that great. And Married to Medicine stole the thunder. Now, all these shows are a little worried because we have the original girls, Real Housewives of Atlanta, without the original cast, but a couple. It's popping back up on the scene, okay? Now, we done saw the blogs and heard the shocking moment of Kenya showing people giving lay low and doing other things. And everybody now wants to see, the headlines been headline. You got Portia divorce, okay? The only thing Real Housewives of Potomac had was Karen. And then you have Stacey marriage, relationship that's down the drain, okay? And then Ashley is now a divorced woman. You have the situation with Phaedra coming back and how that's going to play out with Shamia being friends, and you got freaking Frank back. The only thing we had on here on Married to Medicine, which was great, chef kiss, King and Quad. And I told y'all I feel like Dr. G wanted Quad alone so he could flop Sweet Tea in the face. We saw that, which they're giving us what we want on Married to Medicine. So the ratings are above Real Housewives of Potomac. I gotta give it to them because all the ladies who working for their check, Phaedra say, I'm gonna pull up for my check and I'm gonna walk it up out of here on the jet, okay? And that's what it was giving. And she did just that. That's another interesting storyline. Let me tell you something. Y'all might not like Quad. It's not Quad fault. And we done said this. I feel like Sweet Tea is going to be walking to Quad footsteps and getting the hell on. Toya bringing as she always does. Now, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get into the headlines. The blog's been talking for the past 6 months, baby. Been giving us TV after T after T. Even I talked about it. This is how I know the ratings are going to be epic. First of all, they didn't feed us so fast and they make sure they seasoned that plate with Real Housewives of Atlanta. They made sure the collard greens and neck bones were seasoned well and marinated in them good seasonings. You hear what I'm saying? Like your grandma cooking. We had already got the headlines. Candy is upset because Kenya is suspended. Kenya's showing Brittany Edie pictures. Then we got Shamia and Portia. They have they spat. They're still cool. But then she hooking up being friends with somebody else. Portia got Phaedra, honey. Then on top of this, Portia was fighting Simon for that house, and her and Simon got a divorce. We all want to know what happened. We all have been waiting while they've been filming. There has been drama going on with the filming where Simon is telling Portia allegedly that, she can't film in that house. Court order, baby. You got to go film at your mama's house. I purchased this house from my last marriage from the girl and I kicked ass out. Yeah, because y'all keep saying Portia stole that man when basically Fallon married the pool boy who she got pregnant with while she was still married to that man. Y'all wasn't shocked about that. That was old news, but we got the tea after he called her a groomer. Anywho, yeah, we're ready for it. See, Drew has fallen out with all the girls, seem like, because all of them have called her a liar. We're ready to see, a lot of things. Even Shamia has called Drew a liar. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And did Raph move out that house? Yeah, y'all, it's sad, but Drew been sitting here looking good, feeling good, even dropping some music. But guess who the producer is? Portia, baby daddy. So I feel like the ratings for Real Housewives of Atlanta is going to bring everybody glued to their TV this Sunday, I believe at 8 or 9 o'clock, okay? All right, you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Later.